100-348-1007.
Our apologies to second shifters.
All right, here we go, everybody. Let's get to work.
This is no way to start your day.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
I get satisfaction everywhere I go. Wherever I lay my head, that's what I call home. Where the barren pines, all the mission sail. Take tomorrow's counter and give 'em back the glare. Bang, 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 bang. Vamonos, vamonos. Bang, bang, bang. Vamonos, vamonos.
You gonna go to this?
I think so.
Yeah.
This is one that
The Domino's song.
Domino's, Domino's.
Take that,
game
Walker Hayes.
or the pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Clutch. Clutch is fun.
Clutch is dynamite.
I've seen them live a couple times.
They've just been hard workers for 30 years, you know? They just... When you can be a working band that can tour when you want to, and nobody's getting rich, but, I mean, you maintain your fan base over a long period of time. You never flop live. That goes a long, long way, boy.
What was the date?
May the 24th?
Let me see. Let me
May
see
the
if I'm
14th.
busy.
May the 14th. It is a
May-
Sunday night.
Oh, I'm in New Jersey the night before.
New Jersey.
That's Mother's Day.
It is Mother's Day. Want to take Mom to see Clutch? It's not just a purse. Yeah, Mother's Day is what that is. So, listen, maybe you've got a super cool mom
Yeah, Mom.
who wants to go see Clutch. Do it there. Yeah. Amigo the Devil. What happened to that dude? He was at Sonic Temple pre-COVID. Saw him there. So, Clutch taking him out. I'll have more money for you in about 6 or 7 minutes. Listen for that next keyword to go fund yourself. Talking about baseball earlier. Guardians, everybody's out in Arizona. The pitchers and catchers are beginning to report to their respective parks. Guardians will do it this Friday, and then everybody else will show up middle of next week. I was reading about the guy who does play-by-play for the Cardinals lost his gig. Look at this guy's name. This is a dude named Dan McLaughlin, longtime St. Louis Cardinals play-by-play TV announcer. Was coming up on his 25th year. But they're not having him back because of his third DUI.
Third time's a charm.
It's as though he's never heard the phrase 3 strikes and you're out, you dummy. All you got to do is just keep your head down, man. These guys at like DWI or the guy who lost the gig in with the Royals, or was it the Reds?
No, it was
They're
the
doing the
Royals.
Reds.
I think it was.
The guy in
Was
the
it-
Reds, yeah, who was?
I think it was on the Reds, but I think they were playing the Royals when they had.
He's on a hot mic.
Because he was going to Kansas City. Yeah. Oh.
Oh, these guys. So
His apology is still one of the best apologies of all time.
because he's still doing the game.
He's still doing the game. It's an all-time classic.
Well, wasn't his dad a big guy in broadcasting there? Tom Brenneman was the guy who lost his gig because he used the anti-gay slur on the air. He referred to San Francisco as...
No, Kansas City.
Kansas City?
Yeah, I think it was Kansas City.
Yeah, it wasn't like a San Francisco. It was a smaller city, or like
He called... I guess he's hosting a news show in Cincinnati now, but really? I was thinking it was San Francisco because of
I thought it was Kansas City.
You're probably right, but it's like, who has ever called Kansas City that? I mean, I don't know that. Anyway, I can't find that video, but his apology was pretty good. They came back.
Can you find the apology?
Yeah, hold on. Apology awkwardly interrupted by the Reds' home run. Yeah.
He called Kansas City one of the F-word capitals of the world.
That's right. Come on, man. Okay, let me find it here. This would have been August of 2020. So this is almost 3 years ago. Interrupted by the Nick Castellanos home run, top of the ninth. All right, that's not it. You got to wait around for all this nonsense, and then that ain't it. Wait, hold on. Hold on.
I can't tell you how much I say from the bottom of my heart. I'm so very, very sorry. I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith.
Oh, boy.
As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run.
Oh, that's good. I think of myself as a man of faith. It's time to wipe my ass with Jesus again. Oh, boy. So, yeah, Dan McLaughlin, who is, it's his turn in the barrel. He's the play-by-play TV guy for the St. Louis Cardinals. Or as when I was on in St. Louis, called them the Birds, Bill. Hey, the Birds are in town tonight. Right?
Right.
Pooh holes in the Birds tonight.
Pooh holes.
He will not, boy, what a final season that dude had. Holy cow.
What a great career.
Yeah. A lot of these guys, they want to call it quits and they just drag it across the line. Pujols was like, take that. Sayonara, suckers. Dan's been the voice of the Cardinals for 24 years. We thank him for his contributions, but we're sorry. 3 DUIs is too many. I guess after 2, they were like, well, people like him on television. Oh, well, okay. But you'd think that a baseball guy would be a bit more in tune to the whole third time's a charm thing. The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, we've talked about this before.
It didn't crash in East Palestine too, did it?
No. Fumes all over the place. No,
That'd
but
get people
Hot
talking.
dog water.
Yeah, hot dog water all over the place.
when they get the, when it comes around for them looking for people to drive the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, they get tens of thousands of applications to do this, and they only pick a handful of people. But it's a big, big thing that Oscar Mayer does every season where they're like, we're looking for kids to drive the Wienermobile. Have you ever seen the Wienermobile in person?
I have not.
I have not been that lucky.
I saw it parked at the Doubletree parking lot one time in Westlake, right off the Crocker exit there. I was headed home, and it was just parked out in the middle of like they were crashing there for the night.
That's why you don't need 3 sides, because you have the true fulfillment of seeing the Wienermobile in person.
He's always full.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Wienermobile had its catalytic converter stolen in Vegas.
That's so 2023.
I know it is, isn't it? Man, they do not mess around. They're like, there's a vehicle. Let's get the catalytic converter. It was parked outside a motel in Vegas. It was in town for Super Bowl stuff. And somebody got right under there, pulled out the catalytic converter. They had to tow it to a repair shop. Boy, that'd be great. If you're the repair shop that gets the Wienermobile. I don't know if you can, obviously, if these are parked at hotels and motels, you can't sleep in it. I would think it might be a vehicle. Maybe they don't want the liability of people sleeping in it, the people who go out and drive it. They took it to a Penske Trucks location there in Las Vegas, and they had to find you can't get something like that up on the lift. They had to find a way to fix it. So they found a catalytic converter to temporarily fix it. There are 6 Wienermobiles in operation, and catalytic converters are being stolen left and right. And so even the Wienermobile was not spared. I got money for you. It's $1,000 as promised, a chance to go fund yourself last week to do it. So each and every one of these I hope it works in your favor. Good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword money at WMMS.com. That's money. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
After hours line for people who want to drop voicemails there, you can do it. It is 216-986-8903.
Alan, this is John, the truck driver, self-proclaimed king of I-71. What year did the King Biscuit Flour Hour premiere,
Jesus.
and when did it end? You've been in radio for 30 years. I find stuff like this interesting. Love the show. Until you anoint me a bureau chief of I-71 North and South, I will stay self-proclaimed king of I-71 North and South.
The
Do we have any highway bureau chiefs?
I mean, we have a lot of truckers.
But is anybody hold the title of like bureau chief of 480?
Yeah, somebody is a bureau chief on 95 out on the East Coast. I got a guy there. I guess he will be our 71 mobile bureau chief.
There you go.
Nothing wrong with that. By the way, I tried Eastbound and Down Again.
It's too much.
Not for
I
you?
cannot do it.
That's
It's
a
too. The little Danny McBride goes a long, long
Oh, I
way,
love it.
and I cannot get into it. Tried it, and yeah, you got King Biscuit Flour Hour. Jesus,
I don't know. That must have been
that's-
on when you were in high school.
In the 40s.
I mean, it started in the 70s and it ran for a good 20 years. So, I mean, I remember hearing it when I was in high school. Rock stations would run it super early on like a Sunday morning because it was just an old hippie music show. And so they're like King Biscuit Flour with a lot of reverb and a lot of King Biscuit Flour Hour. All I know about it is that the guy who started it ironically co-founded the UFC. That's like a weird
Really?
thing I remember about, yeah. I forget the guy's name, but the guy who started King Biscuit Flour Hour co-founded the UFC. Yeah, for people who don't remember it, it was like an hour-long pre-recorded radio show that it started out as kind of like late 60s hippie stuff, and that was always kind of the vibe of it. The guy that did the voiceover was... He kind of had a stoner vibe to him, and, But it was on for, I don't even know if it's on anymore. I don't think it is, but I remember it being on when I was in high school. Oh, hold on. You got to dodge him, you got to duck him. Yeah, Bob Meyerowitz was a fan. He's the guy that co-founded the UFC. It's just a syndicated radio show called the King Biscuit. Now, but that is also, it's right down the middle of what a trucker would be listening to. If you're let's say you're deadheading overnight, you might have Coast to Coast AM on. The Werewolf Chupacabra show?
Yeah.
George Norrie, I think TAM still airs it overnight. That's a great show. And you're driving home after a long night, doing whatever you're doing, listening to somebody calling in with utter sincerity. That's the hook of that show, George Norrie and the guy Art Bell, who started the show for many, many years before he died. The secret sauce of that show is these guys with utter sincerity will talk to the craziest people on the planet. But I'd rather hear somebody going crazy over werewolves than somebody screaming about the election was stolen. Werewolves, I can't prove werewolves aren't out there. I can prove the election wasn't stolen.
I feel like there's a lot of proof that werewolves aren't out there.
Silver bullets and such.
Are you finding a lot of silver bullets?
Casings.
Are the casings also silver? You should save those.
They're by clumps of hair.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Clumps of hair.
You tell me if it's werewolf hair or not.
Wow.
You don't know. You're not a taxologist.
A taxologist?
Taxicologist.
Pardon me? What is a
What's the word?
taxicologist?
What's the word I'm looking
H&R
for?
Block? A taxidermist?
No. Toxicology.
A
You
taxicology?
think of taxidermy?
No.
No.
It's like when you test things.
Toxicology?
Toxicology.
Jesus, this one.
A toxicology report.
I'm like, a lycanthrope? What are you going for here?
Listen, my toxicologist said I got to owe a lot of money this year.
Yeah. You're short a couple of 1099s here that I'm going to need.
God.
Oh, the late, great Warren Zevon. You could do no wrong. Put him in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I haven't checked the fan voting recently.
Well, let's check it right
It's
now.
only going to bum you out, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, Cyndi Lauper has beaten a bunch of people. That bums me out, but I'm always genuinely curious how that stuff happens. Like the people who, obviously the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is not their primary concern. They're Cyndi Lauper fans. And so they go, yes, she should, I want every good thing for her.
Just go to rockhallcleveland.com and check it and see.
It'll come right up. A lot of these things you got to like log in, and I don't want to do that. Rockhallcleveland.com. No, that's not coming up.
That's actually, my buddy made that it forwards to his website when people look that up, which I thought was very funny to do.
Nominees. Yeah, there's the nominees. Cast your vote. Vote now. Log in to submit. Come on, man. I just want to see the leaderboard. Oh, see current standings.
Yeah, you can see clearance stands. You just scroll to the bottom.
Cyndi Lauper is in the top spot. Cyndi Lauper, George Michael. Warren Zevon is in the third spot.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I'm not upset about that. At least locally, I would like to think that I had some small part in that. Soundgarden, Iron Maiden, Willie Nelson, Joy Division, Kate Bush, Rage Against the Machine, Sheryl Crow, Spinners, White Stripes, Miss Elliott, and A Tribe Called Quest. At the end there. So your top 5 right now, according to the fans, Cyndi Lauper, George Michael, Warren Zevon, Soundgarden, Iron Maiden.
Oh, that song by them. We are a tribe. We're called Quest. You know that one?
I saw Lon Chaney walking with the Queen.
I mean, it sounds vaguely familiar. I can't place the melody.
It's a Tribe Called Quest. It's like their signature song.
Signature.
We are a tribe.
Yeah.
A tribe called Quest.
Yeah.
But the way that we are a tribe.
Uh-huh.
Like a campfire song.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yep. Put him in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And listen, God bless Cyndi Lauper fans. I don't quite understand it. Wouldn't think she would have that much of a fan base presence anymore. Because these are not organic voting movements. This is not the nation of Cyndi Lauper fans rising up and going, yes, she should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Finally, she gets her due in rock and roll. George Michael, so I don't know. I feel like there are sinister forces at work, not to put too fine a point on it. I'm going to take a break here. Hey, want to go to Incarceration Festival? This happens out at the Ohio State Reformatory. Big, big festival this summer. Slipknot, Pantera, Limp Bizkit. Those are your headliners for each of the 3 nights. Megadeth and Volbeat and Lamb of God and Bush. Tons and tons of other bands. I'll get you a couple of weekend passes. This is 14, 15, 16 July out in Mansfield.